Welcome to BPTV. I'm your host, Andy Amron, and this is another in our continuing series about the Bethel Park Farmers Market and our feature vendors, brought to you by the Bethel Park Community Foundation. And today, we're down in the Strip District, 19th Street. We're going in to learn all about the Olive Tap, one of your feature vendors, every Tuesday at the Bethel Park Farmers Market. Hirsch, why don't you start by introducing yourself to our viewers?
Okay. I'm Hirsch Petrucelli. My wife and I, Karen, started this business down here in about 2016, 2017.
Okay. Olive oils, company Olive Tap. Tell us how you got into selling olive oil. Family, cooking. Tell us what interests you.
Well, my youngest brother, when he left the corporate world, decided he wanted to do something, and we have the entrepreneurial spirit in the family in general.
Okay.
So we spent a lot of time in the Strip back in the 50s and 60s because we had a pizza shop in the North Hills, and we'd come down here to do our shopping for the shop. So when I decided to get into the business, my brother had started it back in 2006. I basically said, I'm moving back to Pittsburgh from Texas. Save Western Pennsylvania for me. I'll take the franchise. So that's what got me here in the Strip.
Okay, well, a pizza place, who started this?
That was started by my father.
Okay. Tell us about your dad.
Well, my dad was quite a guy. He was a printer by trade, and the family business. My mother had a beauty shop. Father was a printer, and they had 5 of us, and there was no way they were going to afford colleges for all of us. So the option was, what do we do? And, take out student loans and so on. No, we don't want to do that. The old Italian family, they never like to have debt.
Right.
So Dad started the pizza shop. And each of us, me and my brothers, we took turns managing it. I ran it first. I was the oldest brother. And then the second brother, and then the third brother. So that experience in basically making pizza was our interest in food, and for me, the Strip District was the only place that I was interested in a shop. My brother's business was in Chicago, second brother's business was in Ohio, so I had Pennsylvania to myself.
Nice. With your love of cooking, is that, you're Italian, so does that come from your mother, your grandmother?
Grandmother.
The grandmother, she taught you the cooking part?
No, we just watched her. She didn't
Okay.
teach us anything.
She didn't write anything down either.
No, and same thing with my father. We used to say, Dad, why don't you write that recipe down for the sauce or the meatballs or whatever he was making? He said, just pay attention. So that's pretty much what we did, and we just tossed things together. I mean, that's kind of like what a lot of the Italian families did. There's a basic recipe, but the rest of it was, as you do it.
Any chance the pizza place is still in business?
No, it was sold. Dad sold it after the last of us got through school.
Okay. Well, it served its purpose then.
It sure did.
Okay, so your love of the olive oil business, tell us about it.
Well, it's a fun business. I mean, I had kind of grew up in the corporate world myself. I had original contact as a salesman directly with customers, but then as I progressed in the companies, I got further and further away from the people that were important. And I wanted to get into something where I could see and feel and touch and also have experience and exposure to people. So retail was a good idea. The food was a great idea. Olive oil, I guess, is part of the heritage.
Okay, because everything is cooked with olive oil, right?
Just about.
Just about?
And if it's not cooked with it, you finish it.
Okay. So how long did it take you to learn all the different olive oil? Because just looking at all the vats you have here, how many different olive oil do you have?
Well, we have 80 different oils and vinegars. We have more balsamic vinegars than we have oils, although the core business is olive oil. We have sources from all over the world, including California, and all the products that we have, particularly the olive oils, are somewhat unique. We deal with small boutique producers.
Okay.
So there's not a lot of products that we have that you can get elsewhere. And that's one of the things that I think makes us a little bit different from others, the fact that you can't get these things
Well,
anywhere.
what makes one olive oil different than the other?
Well, first of all, you have the cultivar, the different types of olives.
Okay.
And what we do when we describe our products to the people that come in, the olive oils, the plain olive oils, are either mild, medium, or robust. The more robust they are, the higher they are in antioxidants. And right now there's a lot of publicity about olive oils that have high polyphenol counts, which are the antioxidants. So we kind of describe that as butter, grass, and pepper. So,
Okay.
if you come in here, we basically give you the polyphenol count. If you look on our tanks, there's a number. It ranges from about 150 to about 650. So the higher that number, the higher they are in antioxidants. And that's one of the things when you deal with these small boutique producers, you can search out producers that have various polyphenol counts using different types of olives. So we bring in most of the products we bring in are from Spain, Greece, and Italy, and California.
Have you visited all those countries sourcing it?
No, I have not. What we do, since my brother runs the franchise, he basically qualifies the products. We get samples in, and we get what's called a certificate of analysis. The certificate of analysis is more important than what a lot of customers come in and ask us about. They say, is it cold pressed and is it first pressed? Well, they are if they're extra virgin olive oils, but that's not what's important. They have to go through a chemical analysis, and basically they go for a free fatty acid. The higher that is, the badder it is. And they also go through a peroxide count. So you could have a cold press or you can have a first press that's rejected because the chemical analysis has failed. So my brother qualifies the orders.
Interesting. Okay. So he gets to do the traveling?
Not really. It's too extensive because every season we vary sources.
Okay.
So you would basically be traveling year round. He'll deal with brokers and he'll deal with producers, and they basically will send us the samples every year.
Okay. And are they sent right from, say, Spain to Pittsburgh, or do they have to go through
They'll go through a
the
broker.
broker?
Yeah,
And
they
are
have
they
to.
in California,
Yeah.
most of the brokers?
Most of them in California, some of them are in Colorado, some of them are in New Jersey.
Okay.
So they vary, depending on the products. As I said, we deal with a multitude of producers, and not any one broker can cover them all.
Okay. Now, are you getting orders from these brokers year round, or is there a specific season
Yes,
that the
the Northern Hemisphere produces in the fall. So we get those products around November, December. November for California, December, January for outside of California. Then the Southern Hemisphere produces in the spring. And one of the more popular countries we get them from is Chile.
Okay.
So those products become available early summer.
So are you having to buy here in Pittsburgh a year's inventory that you store, or do you get it through the brokers every month?
No, we buy almost monthly.
Okay.
And some of the products, we do have to give an advance order, a blanket order for the year, because they have limited quantities.
So is there a season for you that is your busiest season, or are you pretty much year-round? People cook year-round, I understand
Now,
that.
the busy time of the year, because of where we're located here in the Strip, is the summertime.
Okay.
Then the holiday season, from basically Halloween through Christmas Eve.
Okay. Then it slows down a little bit for you in January, February?
Yes, January, February, March are slow, and we basically count on our farmers markets and our events prior to that to help carry us
Carry you through?
through
So-
those
So how
months.
many farmers markets are you doing now?
We do 7 right now.
7? And how busy do they keep you?
They keep us pretty busy because we bottle on a weekly basis
Okay.
for each of the markets. So, and we vary our products. There's basic products that we will take to all of the markets, and then we add a few additional products.
So your hardest question of the day, what's your favorite farmer's market?
Bethel Park.
Really?
Yeah.
Good answer. I like that answer. Now, with the farmers markets, what do you expect out of like the Bethel Park Farmers Market? What makes a farmers market a good farmers market for you?
The best thing, and the thing that I think is most important, the organizers understand small businesses.
What makes the Bethel Park Farmers Market a good market for you, besides Miranda and Kathy that run it?
Well, the good part about the Bethel Park Market, you've got a wide variety of vendors that draw the people in.
Okay.
That's what's really important.
We do get a big crowd down there. You'll have that big parking lot?
We do, and it's laid out perfectly. I mean, it's an ideal setup. We are close to the loafer's bread, so that helps.
So bread and olive oil go together?
Yeah, we're right between produce and bread.
Okay.
So,
Well, with that, I know they're getting, hundreds and hundreds of people a week now. It's really grown into quite a great farmers market on itself. Is it? Have you had to change your inventories of what you bring and how many you bring of the items?
no, it's pretty consistent because it's just as easy to bring 12 different products as 10.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to have enough variety because everybody that comes in has a different taste
Right.
or a different desire, different need.
What are people normally buying olive oil for? Is it you're saying breads and dipping, or do you get more people for cooking with it and
It's
making foods?
Yeah, it's mostly cooking and salads.
Salads.
And they'll look at the balsamic vinegar oil combinations. We do a lot of that where we'll mix an oil and a vinegar so that they can sample it and see what it'd be like on their salad.
Okay. Is there one flavor that you mix that is most popular?
Yes.
And what is that?
We actually have names for our perfect pairs, and our number one perfect pair is called a trip to Italy, and that's
Nice.
our Tuscan herb olive oil,
Okay.
and it's either the Lambrusco or Barbaresco wine vinegar. They're two very popular products, and they're not balsamic vinegars, they're wine vinegars.
Is this something you started making here? They're not going to get it anywhere except at the Olive Tap?
I would say yes, because our Tuscan herb, for example, is a common name for an olive oil. Ours is our own formula. So it's a mix of garlic, basil, rosemary, and oregano to the proportions of our specification. So it's a great olive oil. It's good for cooking. It's good for bread dipping, and it makes a fantastic salad dressing
Nice.
when you mix it with those
And who
vinegars.
came up with this?
Gee, I think I did, but I'm not
Okay.
sure because it goes back 7 years.
Wow, marvelous. Well, and it goes well with a farmer's market then,
Oh,
with
yeah.
all the,
Yeah, and
produce and tomatoes and
it's-
spinach and everything else being sold there. So
Exactly.
like you said, you got produce on to your right,
Yeah.
and on your left you have all the breads.
Yeah. When they come past my table with a bag full of vegetables and lettuce and tomatoes and things, it's obvious that they're a good potential for salad dressings.
Nice. All right, Hirsch, why don't you take us around the store and show us some of the vats and what you're
Okay.
explaining to people when they come in the store?
Sure.
All right, so all these vats, empty bottles, full bottles, walk us through here. Tell us what people are doing when they come into your store.
Okay. First of all, these are vats. They're fusties.
Foosties.
The term for it is fusti.
Okay,
So when they come in, what we do, we encourage them to read the tag. The tag pretty much will tell them about the product, what it is, suggested uses, basically the source. And we will ask them if they're interested in tasting.
Okay.
After they've read these, usually what they'll do, they'll walk around, they'll probably spend about 20 minutes looking at things, then they'll say, okay, I'd like to taste.
okay,
Prior to the pandemic, we used to let people sample themselves. We had the cups scattered throughout the floor, through the store,
okay,
and they could sample at their leisure. But since the pandemic, we've decided to continue sampling with them.
With them.
Are doing the sampling. It promotes a lot better interaction. It forces us to talk to the customer
Yep.
about the product.
yeah, there you
Which has been a big benefit, a side
Sure.
benefit for what happened. So we basically have a small sample cup. They're
Mm-hmm.
actually called communion cups. They're little
Okay,
plastic cups.
sure.
And we give them a little sample. They taste it, and they either like it or they don't like it. We keep a stock of bottles filled, both the more popular size, 375 milliliter, and the smaller size 100 milliliter, and we keep them here. They just pick off the shelf. However, some people that really like the product, they like the larger bottle. So we don't keep these filled. They take up too much space.
Right.
So we fill them as they request.
Okay. But if someone wanted that larger bottle from here, you just are going to fill it up
Right.
as they're standing there.
We fill it up and seal it and label it and seal it.
Okay. And that's pretty. And now, what if they're mixing and they'll take a bottle and you could mix different ones in it for them?
What we do, if it's a combination of an oil and a vinegar, we can't mix them, because when you mix an oil and a vinegar, the shelf life is about a week, because
Okay.
the vinegar will break down the oil. That's why they add preservatives to vinaigrettes that you buy at the store.
Okay.
So they'd have to buy both bottles.
Okay.
However, if they see 2 vinegars or 2 oils, we can combine them.
Okay. So for like that salad dressing that you were talking about, that's something if they buy in 2 different bottles.
Yes,
And
exactly.
mix it themselves.
Right.
Makes sense on it. Number one seller out of all these different ones?
Number one sellers, the 2 big tanks down here on the end,
Okay.
the Tuscan herb olive oil and the Lambrusco wine vinegar.
Okay. And then these are ones that you've developed here.
The mixture, yeah.
Okay.
Combining them.
Well, I see you have a lot of other products in the store. How about if you show us what some of these other products are that you have?
Sure.
Okay, something again different is you have some spicy ones, some hot ones. Explain this to us.
Yes. Everybody likes a little kick of some sort in their food. Maybe not too hot, but something. So we found that there are many choices, and some of them are what I'll call mildly spicy, and some of them very spicy. It's kind of like I was talking before about the polyphenol count, the antioxidant level. Well, there's a heat level back here.
Okay.
So you got 8 different products, and there's 2 groups. One are flavor added, and the other is what we call agrumato style. Agrumato style means that you take the pepper, as in the cayenne or the jalapeno, and you crush it with the olives. So you are manufacturing a hot flavored oil as opposed to flavor added. So the pepper, for example, is flavor added, but the jalapeno and the cayenne are basically crushed. Now the big difference is an olive oil that has flavor added was 100% extra virgin, and after you add that oil or that flavor to it, you can't call it 100% extra virgin anymore.
Okay.
Agrumato, however, never was 100% extra virgin, because it was made as a olive oil that did not go through the same testing procedure, because you can't test it chemically for the peroxide level or the free fatty acid and get a good reading, because you've got the oil from the cayenne or the jalapeno.
And how popular have these become?
These become pretty popular. That's why we had them scattered throughout the store alphabetically.
Mm-hmm.
And when we found that a lot of people were coming in and saying, "Do you have a hot oil?" So we decided to make this section here in the back of all the hot oils.
Okay. Now, 80 plus variety. Why so many?
Well, with the plain olive oils, we get a lot of people who come in and they like the variety like Kalamata or Arbequina, because they bought them someplace else. However, what we really have to deal with, a lot of people will specify, do you have any Greek olive oils, or do you have any Italian olive oils, or any Spanish olive oils? And we say yes, but then we try to tell them that there is no country that has the best olive oil,
Okay.
because it's just like wine. It's seasonal, it's climate, it's the way it's made, and so on. So we try to satisfy all the customers' requirements on the type of olive oil, the country it comes from, and when you get into the flavored oils, the different flavors. We have 80 oils and vinegars in here of various flavors. We still get people come in and they'll ask for something we don't have.
Wow.
Okay, so there are many more flavors of olive oils and many more varieties of olive oils. We could have 250 in the store if we had the space to put them all in.
Okay.
And occasionally, when a customer comes in and says, I'm interested in pineapple balsamic vinegar, we now have a pineapple balsamic vinegar because customers have asked for it.
Okay. And your signage, it shows the country of origin,
Country of origin.
and it also has your
It's got the
count.
antioxidant level, so we can basically say to somebody, this is what we call a robust olive oil.
Okay.
It's the antioxidant level over 400, whereas this Italiano from Italy is on the medium side, which is around 224.
And your sign says where it's from, the
Where it's
origin, and
from.
so forth.
Yes.
Very informational. I like it. All right. One of the things that very unique. I can't say I've seen this anywhere where I've seen olive oil sold. Is you have drinks that you can make with your olive oils?
Actually, with the balsamic vinegars.
Okay.
An example is a strawberry balsamic vinegar used to make margaritas. I mean, you can get a strawberry margarita in just about any Mexican restaurant,
Right.
but they're made with a strawberry syrup.
Okay.
So this is made with a strawberry balsamic vinegar. The fruit-flavored balsamic vinegars are really popular for using in mixed drinks. Two of the products that we have are extremely popular. The Sicilian lemon is great for making just a simple lemonade or adding it to your iced tea. But Lauren, who's one of our associates that works in the store, has developed a pretty good following of people who take the peach balsamic vinegar and add it to water to flavor their water.
Wow.
Lauren actually comes in the store every day when she comes to work and fills her water bottle with the peach balsamic vinegar, and it makes a great refreshing drink.
That is different. I don't know if I've heard that anywhere. All right. This is different. I haven't seen this anywhere. Tell me about what this gourmet one pot meals are.
Okay. Well, first of all, this section along this wall are a combination of products, both imported products, but also we have a section down the end of local producers that we like to promote.
Okay.
People come in the store, a lot of the people that are just curious, they come in, they look, they're not interested in olive oils and vinegars. Well, the whole idea is we don't want them to leave not having a chance to buy something else.
Right?
We came across this product line as an import from Italy. They're one-pot meals. They take about 15 minutes to prepare.
15 minutes.
Everything that you need is in that package. The most popular group are the risottos. Basically takes you 15 minutes. Simply add water, stir it once, cover it, walk away, come back 15 minutes later, and it's done.
That's pretty
It's a
amazing.
very, very, very popular product.
Okay, and these are come directly from Italy.
Yes, we buy them from a distributor in New York. We pretty much bring these in almost every other week.
I don't think I've seen these anywhere in Pittsburgh, but here. All right, what do you have next?
These are gluten-free pastas that come from Italy. There's a lot of gluten-free products available. We sampled a lot of different pastas, and we found this to be a really good product line. They've become very popular.
So in other words, if it's in your store, you've eaten it and you like it.
Oh, yes. This is a product line of soups. These come from a company on the border of Pennsylvania and Ohio. It's kind of close. We call them local. They're pretty popular. It's everything you need for that particular soup. Then we have a product line of tapenades, bruschettas, jams, jellies, and mustards, and different sauces, barbecue sauces and so on, our own brand.
And how about this section in here?
Okay, this section here is primarily local producers. These are companies that are in and around the Pittsburgh area that we like to promote with. We have our own brand of sea salts here, but this is a vegetarian product line. They're not cheese nachos. They're pretty popular for people that are vegetarians. And Miller's Mustard's very popular. Ugly Mug's salsa, garlic. So there's a whole group of products here that are local producers. We have Lemon Brothers syrups up there. And there's another honey company that we'll be bringing in that's from the farmers markets Schwoops, so they'll be in here.
Very good. And these in here?
These are some more. This is another local producer. This garlic pepper jam is extremely popular. One of our more popular ones is actually barbecue stews. This
Okay.
is a local guy from New Kensington, and we have a lot of his customers that he's developed over the years come in here specifically to buy his products.
It's a good way to get more people in the doors.
Yeah, down here you can see we have baskets. We do a big gift basket business,
Okay.
particularly during the Christmas season. But
Now-
all year long, people will come in and basically pick products, and we make up a basket for them.
Okay, so you will make the basket for them?
We make the basket for them, and we also invite them to bring things in if they want to add to the basket.
Okay. Now, you had talked about some recipes. You have a wall of recipes, and these are your recipes or customers or both?
Actually, these recipes were primarily developed by my brother. However, we do have a few that customers have basically developed. So an example was breakfast tostadas with charred ranchero sauce. And if you look at this one, it's got extra virgin olive oil. Any one of ours will work. The jalapeno lime balsamic vinegar. So each of the recipes here have one or more of our products that are used to make that particular meal.
That's pretty nice customer service on it for people to be picking and know all these recipes.
One thing about our franchisor, you can go on his website and there's hundreds of recipes featuring our products.
Well, Hirsch, thank you for your time. I appreciate you taking the time to show us around your store. This is a beautiful setup, 80 different varieties you have here, and really looking forward to seeing you again and every week at the Bethel Park Farmers Market.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to show people what we're all about other than just a stand at a farmer's market.
And other than the Bethel Park Farmers Market, make sure you come down to the Strip District on 19th Street and check out the Olive Tap.